Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Well, second to last, as it turns out. There were a lot of games made for the Indiana Jones franchise, and why not? It was one of the most well-known adventure franchises ever made, so of course making games for it would be a no-brainer. This one in particular was made by Ubisoft in 1994 and was ported to numerous consoles from the MS-DOS to the ZX Spectrum to the good old Game Boy. If you look at these games, you'll notice some similarities. In fact, they all seem pretty much identical, right down to the animation. So rather than mix up the ports in each system, this was purely a copy-paste job and cleaning up the graphics a bit. Heck, even the NES version looks like it belongs on the Game Boy. Maybe the Game Boy version will be better, I hope? The box art is a nice action shot of Indiana Jones, apparently ready to shoot us. Not a whole lot to say, although it is nice to see them going with something other than the movie poster. Wait, a horse? Can I play as the horse in this game? That'd be great. Well, let's go on a crusade and see how the Game Boy port of this very ported game goes. Ubisoft. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade trademark. I'm liking the remix. Nothing else to do. Let's go. Hi. Wow, that is... Can't tell if that's good or bad looking animation. Oh god, it is. It is the same one. Okay. Okay, so I had mentioned in the preview part that there was a version of this on NES. This is pretty much identical, it looks like. Oh my god. So it looks like they just took the exact same game and ported it from Game Boy to NES without changing the animation, the style, or anything. Oh, you got dick punched. And then it was over. You know, it actually doesn't control as bad as I thought it would. Well, at least the movement. The combat is super stiff. But, movement-wise, you know, seems fine. Got it. Okay. Music's kind of nice, too. Yeah, I'm able to actually... This is controlling better than I thought. It certainly would not be good on Nintendo. The NES, specifically. But for Game Boy? This is fine. So far, anyway. Well, mostly. Come on! Get the... Okay, maybe it isn't. Okay, I have more time. What am I looking for, exactly? This, you know... When I saw the NES version of this game, like I said, it looked like something that belonged on Game Boy. I think, Angry Video Game Nerd actually mentioned that in his review. And, yeah, it actually is playing quite well. Punch, punch, punch. Okay, again, that comes with a big asterisk. The movement is pretty good. The combat is terrible. Oh! No. So you have to keep collecting... So you have to keep collecting torches. This looks likely. Clearly I'm making some kind of progress because I'm finding more items. Oh. Yeah, I take fall damage too without hitting the ground. Oh. No! 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 Shh. He'll never find me! One thing I actually can say, another positive about the game, you're exploring. Which is what Indiana Jones is all about. No! No, my window to this beautiful world is gone. And the music is kind of repetitive. Okay, so maybe this game isn't great. But I've played worse. What? Why? That's mean. Skip, skip, skip to Maloo, skip, skip, skip to Maloo, skip, skip. Oh. Okay, let's see if I can find the thing. So, the game isn't great, like I said. But it's not as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting something completely unplayable, and it certainly, you know, has its flaws, but it's decent. I can move around pretty quickly with the jump. Combat is terrible, but, you know, I don't have the whip yet. As I recall, you get the whip later on. You know, like the movie. I forget what the name of the movie is that this is based on. Yeah, Dakota something. Maybe better this way? No! Okay. There has to be something around here that tells me where the hell I'm supposed to be going. And there was just another heart and another hourglass down here, right? The hunt continues. No! Damn it. So that guy can't actually hurt me. He's just going up and down forever. That's their job. Hello. There we go. Hey. Yeah. Okay, I'm lost. I had made progress previously, but I completely forgot where to go because I left my breadcrumbs at home. So, it's okay. Not great, but not terrible either. There's some stuff to like about it, which I'm kind of surprised at. Well, mostly. You know what? That went better than I thought it would. Yeah, there were problems. The gameplay was a tad clunky and maze-like, although the maze part certainly does mesh with an Indiana Jones game. And yeah, it's basically a carbon copy of all the other versions. But to be honest, looking at all those other versions, it feels like the Game Boy was the original one, and that everything else had copied from it. And to be honest, taking into account the limitations of the system, what feels like the source game here is honestly fine. It animates quite nicely for Game Boy, and while the combat is awkward, the movement is really fluid, and the music, while repetitive, is still nicely done. I did get lost during the game, but it seems like the kind of maze where if I played a few times, I'm sure I could get the hang of it. Yeah, let's go with that excuse. So, cut out the combat and you're left with a pretty alright game, especially for Game Boy. Yeah, the ports weren't all that good, but for a Game Boy game, I gotta say, this ended up being better than I expected. So for once, the Game Boy port is the far superior version. Take that, ZX Spectrum! And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Tune in next time as we continue digging through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian Shea, and I will see you next time.